On today's updates, we have a Panama Canal update for you. We also have water restrictions for Oregon farmers. This one will blow your mind. TSA being used as a political weapon. Yep. And PFAS chemicals in tap water. A pesky mylar balloon that you need to hear about that causes a whole town to have to boil their water. And lots of reports coming from you guys from all over. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. And before we dive in any further, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts get out of just stocks and bonds and other risky things into stable things like gold, silver, and platinum. If you have IRA money, 401k money, retirement money that you want to switch over, and you want to talk to somebody, Jonathan and his team would love to talk to you. There'll be a link at the end of the video. If you guys have updates, please do send them in. Just use the word update. Put them on a comment on this video or any video on this channel, and just use the word update somewhere in there to get to the right place. Panama Canal update. One of you guys asked, what's up with the Panama Canal? Well, a lot of liquid natural gas, LNG ships, are bypassing the canal. Only 13 LNG ships crossed the canal last month. Fewer than half that went through the canal in July 2022. So a major drop. Last year was things were crazy last year with the blockages and everything. Transits by dry bulk ships have dropped 35% to 129 versus that same period. So it was at 36 ships per day, and that's a little bit hard to make out because you got different size ships, right? You have really big ships and you have some smaller ships. You have some ships that multiple of them can fit into the same lock at the same time. So it's hard to kind of really judge it, but at its peak, they're running 36 ships per day. In January, we were down to 20 ships per day. Not quite half, but closing in on it. And we were saying that is a big problem. They have gotten more rain, but what has happened more than anything is they've just jacked the price up. Because they've raised the prices so much, a lot of ships have decided to divert around. As of July 22nd, they're supposedly moving up to 34 transits per day, so we're getting back closer, but those do tend to be on the smaller side of the ships. So we are still lacking a fair bit of capacity that we did before, and because the prices are up so much, and we don't know how this next rainy season will go. If this rainy season is bad again, there may be restrictions coming back real fast. Oregon farmers. One of you guys asked about mentioned about the Oregon farmers, so I should look into it a little more. Well, Oregon Public Broadcasting says CAFO, or CAFO, permitted livestock farmers will only be able to use up to 12,000 gallons of water per day for animal drinking water. Doesn't matter how many animals you got, only 12,000 gallons. If you want more than that, you have to use a water use permit. Now, we're not talking tap water. Like, if you're using a whole bunch of tap water, it makes sense that they can be like, what are you using that for? But this is from, you're pumping this out of a well on your property or a whole bunch of wells, or you're pulling this water out of a river or a creek. You use more than 12,000 gallons, and you have to get issued a water use permit. Even if you're using a reservoir, a on-site reservoir. So if you're capturing the rainwater into a reservoir and then you're trying to use it for your farm, nope, can't do that. The only exempt people out there are if you have less than 20 dairy cows or you have less than 250 laying hens. Anything more than that, and you're going to have to go to the court, and you're going to have to go to the county seat, and you're going to have to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork to get water use permits. Absolutely insane. I don't know how anyone can really do business there anymore. They're just trying to squeeze everybody out of it. Tulsi Gabbard, former Democratic Congresswoman who has quit the Democratic Party, was added to the TSA's Quiet Skies program. Think of it as basically a terror watch list light. So basically, every time she stepped foot into the airport, she was given a 35 to 40 minute extensive security screening. Plus, they have to put air marshals on her planes and having dogs and everything like that, sniffing and checking everything on the plane, holding up and delaying the planes. So this happened, and that's insane, right? This happened July 23rd that she was added. The day after Tulsi Gabbard got on Fox News and criticized Kamala Harris. Well, now she's suing the Biden-Harris administration for political persecution. Think about this. If she's such a dangerous national security issue, why is she currently a major in the U.S. Army Reserves? It's not like she just served for 21 years in the U.S. military. But the fact is that she's currently serving as an officer in the U.S. Army. Does that make any sense whatsoever? If a major in the U.S. Army walked onto a plane, would you feel more safe or less safe? Hopefully you feel more safe, even if they were carrying a weapon, because military people carrying weapons makes sense. Clearly something else there. And when pointed out, the TSA has not been like, oopsie, someone made a boo-boo. No, right after she made a major televised criticism, suddenly she gets put on that list quietly. The only reason we know about this is because one of the TSA people became a whistleblower and leaked this. They've already gotten into hot water for leaking this. The person that leaked this so that we know that they're going after Tulsi Gabbard has already suffered legal consequences from this administration. This administration won't lift a finger to persecute or prosecute the people breaking the law or, abusing or attacking our children. But heck, if you try exposing how they're misusing the government as a political weapon on people, you had better believe you're going to go to jail. And we're seeing that a lot overseas too, right, aren't we? Margaret says, a person I know well got a company email informing employees that due to a loss of demand, the company is going to close 2 plants. This will affect 98 people from the 2 locations. And similarly, Jeff, Lee Brass, America's largest threaded brass producer, closes after 108 years, 128 workers gone. It's in Anniston, Alabama. We got a lot of shutdowns happening. We got a lot of slowdowns happening. Of course, we're being told that this is the best economy we've ever seen. Diamond says, good morning, Steve. We work at a grocery store here in South Dakota, and I know who they are. Not in person, but we've chatted back and forth. Our produce is literally coming in moldy, and it's going bad very quickly on the shelves. We all realize this, right, from what we've seen at the stores, but hear it from managers of a grocery store. They're not getting it fresh. It's getting quite frustrating because we have to constantly go through the produce the day we get it and cut off all the bad parts. It's really getting quite ridiculous. Even the potatoes that come in the bags are bad the day they come in. We're also noticing that people can't afford the food on the shelves. And they're going to our markdown basket that we have in the front of the store, picked out cans, goods, and food that has expired because we have them greatly marked down. I never thought I would see a day that regular people can only afford the food that's expired in the markdown basket. For the last couple of weeks, we've been unable to get tomatoes and other things. And the other thing is when we get avocados, they're coming in very hard and never seem to ripen. They just start rotting while they're still hard. Food is expensive enough, and it's ridiculous that they're rotting and not even ripening. I mean, it's getting really bad. This is a report from Foreshell. I live in northern Arizona. I ordered a window in May. Yikes. And was told it would be here in 4 to 6 weeks. Well, it's a little longer than that. Over 11 weeks later, still not here. A friend ordered a windshield for his car over 16 weeks ago. Still not here. Another friend ordered all new windows for his house in March. Still not here. Is anyone else having a problem getting windows? If you have updates, please do pop them down in the comments down below. Make sure you use the word update right and give us some sort of geographical location if you can. Faye says Seattle, Everett area. Here in Everett, we are drinking recycled water. We talked about this before, right? It's been tested and found to have PFAS, or forever chemicals, and hard drugs. Hard drugs from all the druggies homeless using the bathrooms and the municipal water plants that they can't filter it out. Yep, drink a cup of tap water and you'll get your daily fix, lol. It's not that bad, but the government says it's safe. Safe, really? To whom? Baby formula takes water, so giving hard drugs to babies is okay? To what amount? For how long? I have kidney issues already. I'm old, 68 years. I want good old plain, healthy, clean, and clear water. Well, know where your water's coming from, friends. And this is something else too. A lot of water systems have, I forget what they called it. They basically like these back doors. So like if you have like a water system here, and then like your neighboring municipality has a water system over there, oftentimes they'll put a pipe between the two of them just to bridge it, and it's shut down most of the time. But if they need to suddenly get water from that one over to this one, they can open it up and let some water through. It's not like as much as they might need, but it can definitely kind of help level off water pressures and stuff like that. So a lot of times these municipalities and cities are actually cross-pollinating their water with each other. So you can't ever really fully be sure exactly what's in your water at any given time. Milkman Choppers says, North Mississippi. My buddies, well, on his property needs to be dug around another 40 feet to have a consistent well water through the summer. He lives at the edge of town where the farmland begins. So the water table's dropped and they have to dig it further to get at the water. And just because of the name, Milkman Choppers, I'm assuming that's a reference to motorcycles, right? I don't know if everyone's heard about the news of Harley-Davidson. There was an expose that came out about how Harley-Davidson has basically gone the Bud Light route on things. And so there's just a recent biker rally. I'm not sure if it was Sturgis or somewhere else. But they said basically that the Harley-Davidson tent, usually you can't even get into it because it's so packed, was empty. All the bikers were avoiding it because they had heard about how woke Harley-Davidson has gotten. And so they were all just avoiding it and basically giving it the Bud Light treatment. So if you haven't heard about that and you're a biker or you're looking at getting a bike, might want to check out that to see if you really want to buy a Harley-Davidson. I mean, if you do, that's your business, but just so you're aware. Cynthia says, Prattville, Alabama, doesn't have certain insulins when we need it. So insulin still having issues out there. Is anyone else seeing issues with insulin? B says, I live in Virginia near northeastern West Virginia. My potato yield was 50% of last year due to excessive heat and lack of rain. So low potato harvest. Yeah, we got a lot. That's the whole area is just not getting rain over here on the East Coast. D Freak says, over 1 million acres burned in Oregon. Most fires are purposely being started. Tons of acres of grazing land and cattle burned. Dr. Holistic Hippie says, I'm in East Central Mississippi, and we desperately need rain. We aren't yet to the point of running out, but the ground is very dry. Marty says, I opened 2 cans of peaches from Aldi's. One was purchased last year sometime, and the other in April 2024, so this year. The older one was filled with peaches. The spring can was 1/3 juice and 2/3 full of peaches. I am finding this is really common, as people have said. This is in Iowa. MZ says, Northwest Florida, Destin area. I was off today. I usually do some preps when I'm off. When I buy cans, I look at the calories. I'm a person who tries to eat organic all I can, but in an SHTF situation, when the stuff starts hitting the fan, right, I'm going to be happy to eat at all. I went looking for, you guessed it, beef stew and Sue's chicken and dumplings. Didn't find it. Went to 2 Dollar General stores and Publix. Bought everything Winn-Dixie had afterwards. So, yeah, definitely seeing issues out there, especially when it comes to canned meats, right? Robert says, we were in New Orleans last week on vacation. The city had a boil water notice across the whole city due to a loss in pressure after electrical outage caused by a Mylar balloon. If you're anything like me, you're starting to think about already like, Mylar balloons. Mylar balloons. That's an interesting one. No coffee at the hotel. Starbucks closed, etc. It was crazy how delicate our infrastructure is. Thank you guys for your updates and sending them in. If you have something to share, please do pop that in the comments down below. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. If you want to check out more information from Genesis Gold, there's a link right there. I'll talk to you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report.